Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm coming to you live from the Tappan Street Gymnasium in Brookline, Massachusetts, and I'm here for the season opener of the Brookline High School boys basketball team. The Brookline Warriors will be hosting the Wellesley High School Raiders here at the Tappan Gym. It's been a long time coming for the Brookline winter sports teams. They faced delay after delay in the face of the weird year to end all weird years in terms of logistically figuring out how to get any sports season off the ground. And of course, it couldn't have a more chaotic start than what we got today. The game approved at 12:30 this afternoon, so just 6 hours before this game was set to tip off, and only 4 hours before the JV game was set to tip off. So a lot of credit needs to go to the folks upstairs for both of these schools, the administration, the coaches, all the staff members, top to bottom. Got to give them credit. I mean, there was a parking ban in this town up until about 1 o'clock between the snowstorm and the logistical concerns of starting after all the COVID restrictions that have been put in place. But credit to these two teams. They're here, and they're about to get underway. The Brookline Warriors coming into this season after a strong 15-7 campaign in last year's regular season, but a heartbreaking loss in the first round of the state tournament, 50-49 at the hands of Attleboro. About as close as you would want between an 8 and 9 seed, as Brookline went in the 9th seed and suffered a tough loss to the favored Attleboro team. And now they are here to host the Wellesley Raiders, a team that Brookline swept in the regular season last year. They played them twice, one in Wellesley on January 7th of 2020, 73-59, and then later defeated the Raiders once again at home on January 31st, 62-51. So the game is close to getting underway. Brookline coming into the season with a very different squad from what they had last year. They graduated a large senior class that included every single starting player on their roster. Ben Murray, Ben Ordonez, Bryce Burke, Lucio Dulcet Brown, and Miles Avalon, the team's 5 starters that they went into the playoffs with, and all graduated at the end of the year. So it's going to be a very different looking roster for Brookline as they get ready to take the floor against Wellesley. For Brookline, starting, we have number 5, Jack Altman, number 24, Theo Murray, number 2, Andrew Mitchell, number 14, Nate McCarthy, and number 1, Adrian Bryant. No tip-offs in this very weird season as Brookline gets set to inbound the ball from the side, and we're underway. The inbound goes to Theo Murray. Theo Murray bringing the ball across half court. He's being well defended. Passes it over to Bryant over in the corner, and then he sends a pass to a streaking Andrew Mitchell, who drives and draws the foul. Andrew Mitchell, Theo Murray, and Jack Altman, all guys who got some significant playing time off the bench last year, and they now come back as a member of the starting lineup as Andrew Mitchell gets ready to put up his free throws. Puts up the first one, bricks it off the back of the rim, no good. So now Wellesley sending out 2 players, and that's all who will be allowed is Wellesley's number 4, Wedner Cadet, and number 15, Kyle McCausland. So new COVID regulations, but it doesn't matter in this particular instance as Mitchell hits his first free throw. Brookline takes the 1-0 lead. The inbound goes to Wellesley's number 11, Anthony Perez. He slowly brings the ball across half court, defended by Murray. Passes it over to Cadet. Cadet trying to drive from the top. He goes up and draws the foul. Can't quite hit the shot. He was being defended by number 1, Adrian Bryant. And oh no, they called an offensive foul. And a quick inbound to Murray, and Murray's got a bit of a lane to go. He decides to drive, being defended by Cadet, blocked by Cadet. And after the loose ball is picked up by McCausland, he tries to pass it out. Guy stumbles. That was 11, Anthony Perez, who stumbled with it. Passed it over to Cadet. Cadet tried to pass, intercepted by Mitchell. Mitchell now has the ball over on the offensive end, dribbling around, passes it over to Bryant. Bryant holding the ball after a wild sequence there. Score still 1-0 Brookline. Bryant passes it over to Murray on the wing, passes inside to Altman. Altman tries to kick it out, deflected and intercepted by Wellesley. I believe this is McCausland. He drives, passes it over to number 15. Oh, no, that is McCausland. The pass was from Anthony Perez. McCausland hits the layup, and Wellesley goes up 2-1. Theo Murray tries to bring it up, but dribbles it off his foot. It's taken away by Wellesley, but the pass is then intercepted by Bryant. He chucks it over to Murray. Murray decides to drive in. A nice double move, and he draws the foul. Just misses the layup. So a wild sequence of turnovers back and forth by both teams. Brookline, of course, just trying to get their feet under them as Murray goes to the line for his first free throw and hits it, tying the score at 2. Wellesley sends 2 players to the blocks. That is Cadet and Perez. Murray puts up his second free throw and hits it. 2 for 2 at the line from Theo Murray, and Brookline takes a 3-2 lead. 6:40 left in the quarter. And it's number 24, Matt Ouellette, who passes it over to Cadet, then over to Perez, back up top to Ouellette. Ouellette starting to drive, runs into traffic, kicks it back out to Cadet. Cadet holding it at the right wing, tries to pass it up top, but intercepted. This is number 14 for Brookline, drives, hits the layup. Great work by Nate McCarthy on the interception and the fast break layup. And that's a 5-2 lead for Brookline now. Anthony Perez dribbling with the ball for Wellesley. And he fakes out Murray, drives in, puts up the floater, and hits it. Nice shot over Adrian Bryant, who is trying to defend down in the post. Bryant now bringing up the ball. The score is 5-4 Brookline. Bryant brings it across half court, passes it over to Jack Altman on the right wing. Altman sends it back up top to Bryant. Bryant fires from 3, front rims it, no good. Rebounded by number 15, Kyle McCausland. McCausland passes it over to Matt Ouellette. Ouellette dribbles across, passes over to Perez. Perez fires from 3, and he hits this one. The first three-pointer of the night gives Wellesley a 7-5 lead over Brookline. Now Andrew Mitchell dribbling across half court. He's dribbling against Ouellette. Hits traffic, kicks it over to Theo Murray. Theo Murray winds up and fires wide open from 3, and he hits it. Nice shot from the right wing by Theo Murray. 8-7 now the score in favor of Brookline. Ouellette brings the ball across half court for Wellesley. Dribbling up top, defended by Murray. Passes it over to number 23, Louis Fay. Louis Fay sends it up top, and the shot from 3 is good by Anthony Perez. Back-to-back threes from these two teams. The score now 10-8 in favor of the Raiders. Andrew Mitchell dribbling across half court. Dribbling against Ouellette. He starts to drive in, goes for the layup. No foul call. They say it was a clean block by Kyle McCausland, who is now dribbling on the fast break. Stops, kicks it back up to Cadet. Back out to Perez. Perez swings it over to Ouellette. Ouellette fires from 3, and swish! 13-8 now the score in favor of Wellesley after the three-pointer from Matt Ouellette. Inbound goes to Andrew Mitchell. Mitchell now dribbling with the ball. Gets across half court, passes it over to McCarthy. McCarthy holding it. Passes it over to the corner to Adrian Bryant. Bryant gives it to Murray. Murray goes up for the layup. No good, but draws the foul. I think that's going to be against number 15, McCausland. A nice move around the pick by Theo Murray to give himself a lane to drive to. Solid defense down low by Kyle McCausland, but not without committing the foul, I should say. Murray's first free throw breaks off the back of the rim, no good. And now we got some substitutions. Checking in for Brookline is number 22, Zach Salem. He replaces number 1, Adrian Bryant. For Wellesley, number 12, Brady Stevens, and number 3, Vincent Ferrara check into the game. Theo Murray going up for his second free throw, and he hits this one. So the lead is now 13-9 in favor of Wellesley. Matt Ouellette gets the inbound, slowly brings it across half court, being defended by Salem. Dribbles around, tries to drive in. Bit of an awkward shot, airballs that one, and after a bit of a scrum for the ball, it's picked up by Theo Murray. He heaves it over to Andrew Mitchell. Andrew Mitchell going on the drive, goes for the layup, no good, and they're going to say a blocking foul, I believe, against number 3, Vincent Ferrara. He tried to take the charge, but couldn't keep his position, in part thanks to some good movement on the drive by Andrew Mitchell, who now goes to the line for 2. Mitchell with his first free throw, hits it, nothing but net. 13-10 now the lead in favor of Wellesley. 4:05 left here in the first quarter. Mitchell getting ready for his second free throw. It's up, front rims it, no good, rebounded by Matt Ouellette. Ouellette now dribbling, being defended by Salem. Gets cross half court, passes it over to Anthony Perez in the left wing. Perez dribbling, tries to pass, deflected by Mitchell and picked up by Jack Altman. Altman dribbling in transition, tries to pass, deflected and intercepted. It's now taken by Ferrara. He passes it down low, and the layup attempt by Louis Fay is no good, but he draws the foul. I would think that foul call was against, yes, number 14. That is Nate McCarthy. And so now it'll be Louis Fay going for the free throws. First one up and good. Wellesley extends their lead to 14-10. And we got a substitution checking in for Wellesley. Number 1, Isaac Chu comes into the game, replacing Matt Ouellette. Fay going for his second free throw, and it's good. Wellesley now leads 15-10. The inbound goes to McCarthy, but then immediately back to Theo Murray. Murray slowly bringing it across half court. Starts to drive, found a lane, goes for the layup and hits it! Instant burst of speed from Theo Murray for the layup, and he cuts the lead to 15-12. Wellesley brings it across half court. An errant pass is deflected away, but recovered by Perez. Perez tries to throw one down low to Louis Fay, almost loses it out of bounds, but he saves it and gives it to Isaac Chu, who drives it clumsily but manages to hit the layup. Some good hustle there from Wellesley as they extend their lead to 17-12. Salem bringing it across half court. Attempted pass for Murray, deflected away and intercepted by Ferrara. Passes it over to Chu. Chu now driving, tries to pass. It's deflected, but I think they're going to call a kickball on that one. Indeed, it's a kickball against Nate McCarthy. We have another set of substitutions for both teams, and for Brookline checking in will be number 21, Wayne Meadows, and number 15, Mackie Hayes, replacing Nate McCarthy and Jack Altman. Chu getting ready to inbound for Wellesley. He sends it over to number 12, Brady Stevens. And we've immediately got a whistle. We've immediately got a foul call right as the play started. I think they're going to call this one against Brookline. I think that is against number 15, Mackie Hayes, who just checked in. So it'll be another inbound for Wellesley. Isaac Chu getting ready to inbound it. Looking for the pass outlet. And just manages to get the pass off to Stevens. Stevens dribbling against Andrew Mitchell, and he travels. Tight defense in the corner by Andrew Mitchell caused Brady Stevens to get thrown off his rhythm, and he travels there, and Brookline takes over. They trail Wellesley 17-12, 2:55 left here in the first quarter. Number 15, Mackie Hayes, dribbles it across half court, passes it over to 21, Wayne Meadows. Up top to Salem, swings it over to Murray. Murray trying to drive in, goes to the layup, no good. Well defended by Wellesley and rebounded by Vincent Ferrara. Passes it over to Isaac Chu. Chu holding it, fakes a pass, starts to dribble, stops, but doesn't quite pick it up fast enough, and that's going to be a travel. Maybe picked it up a little too fast. Inbound by Hayes. Over to Meadows. Meadows slowly bringing it across half court, defended by Stevens. Passes it over to Andrew Mitchell on the right wing. He takes a pick, goes to the lane, and hits it. A nice roll in by Andrew Mitchell off the pick by Zach Salem. Inbound over to Vincent Ferrara. He swings it over to number 5, Michael Grosso. Grosso gets it across half court, passes over to Isaac Chu. Chu holding it back over to Grosso. Grosso over to Stevens on the left wing. Stevens passes it over to the corner, and now some dribbles by number 10. Kicks back out to Stevens. Over to Ferrara, fires from 3, no good, and the ball bounces out of bounds. Got a substitution for Brookline. This is number 34, Obi Okamoto, replacing Zach Salem. 17-14, the score in favor of Wellesley, 1:54 on the clock here in the first quarter. We got another substitution for Brookline as Jack Altman checks back into the game, replacing Andrew Mitchell. The inbound goes to Hayes. Hayes slowly bringing it across half court. Brookline down 3 with less than 2 minutes left in the first. Pass over to Jack Altman. Altman swings it all the way over to Meadows. Meadows fires from 3 and hits it. Tie ball game off the three-pointer by Wayne Meadows. And now Vincent Ferrara driving to the lane very quickly for Wellesley, and he hits the layup. Nice quick moves there, and it's now 19-17 in favor of the Raiders. Ball passed across half court to Theo Murray, then back out to Hayes. Hayes dribbles in, fires up a floater, no good, but rebound picked up by Meadows after a bit of a bounce, and now the travel is going to be called on Jack Altman. Meadows sent it up top to Altman. Altman was trying to pull back, but he traveled. And so now Wellesley ball. And that's Michael Grosso bringing the ball across half court. Passes it up top to Isaac Chu. Chu dribbling with it, passes it over to Jackson McChesney. McChesney dribbling with it, passes it over to Chu on the right wing, being defended by Hayes. Chu dribbles with it towards the top. And an attempted pass, lost for a second, but recovered by Vincent Ferrara. Ferrara tries to dribble, passes it down low for number 5, that's Grosso, puts up the shot, no good, but grabs his own rebound and gets the putback. 21-17 in favor of the Raiders. Mackie Hayes bringing the ball up for Brookline. Dribbles across half court, 35 seconds left. Wellesley leads 21-17. A long three-pointer fired by Wayne Meadows. He missed it, but two Wellesley players bumped into each other, and the ball got knocked out of bounds. We have a substitution for Wellesley here with 34.5 ticks left in the first quarter. This is Wedner Cadet checking in for Wellesley, and it looks like Brookline's getting ready to make a couple of substitutions. Number 1, Adrian Bryant, and number 14, Nate McCarthy check in, replacing Theo Murray and Wayne Meadows. 21-17 is the score in favor of Wellesley, 30.5 seconds left in the first quarter. Jack Altman getting ready to inbound the ball for Brookline. He sends it over to Mackie Hayes. Mackie Hayes up top, swings it over to the left wing to Altman. Altman throws it down low to Bryant, kicked back out to Hayes, then over to Altman. Altman fires from 3, no good. Rebound, Isaac Chu. Chu dribbling it for Wellesley, passes it across to Cadet. Cadet starting to drive in, tries for the step move, and they're going to say no shot, but they're going to call a foul on Adrian Bryant. So it'll be an inbound for Wellesley. Cadet was trying to do a two-step move on Bryant, and Bryant just got a little too much contact before Cadet could put up the shot. Chu inbounds to Cadet. Cadet dribbling up top, passes it over to McChesney, back to Cadet. Cadet drives in and just swatted away by Okamoto. Brookline takes over. A couple passes across half court, over to Altman, over to Bryant. Bryant fires from the corner, no good. And that'll be the buzzer, as no one could recover that rebound before the final buzzer sounded on the first quarter. So we are through one frame here at Tappan Street Gym. The score, the Wellesley Raiders 21, the Brookline Warriors 17. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and I will be back with the second quarter of play after a short mute break. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Tappan Street Gym in Brookline, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, bringing you this high school boys basketball game between the hosting Brookline Warriors and visiting Wellesley Raiders. The Wellesley Raiders start with an inbound to number 11, Anthony Perez, who brings it across half court, passes it over to the left wing, over to Matt Ouellette, up top to number 15, Kyle McLaughlin, who passes it over to Perez, then back out to Ouellette. Ouellette drives in, hits the floater, and the first bucket of the second quarter gives Wellesley a 23-17 lead over Brookline. The inbound goes to Brookline's Adrian Bryant. He brings it across half court, dribbles to his left, starts to drive but hits traffic, looking for a pass, gives it over to Nate McCarthy. Nate McCarthy tries to pass, misses his target, but it's recovered by Andrew Mitchell. Passed over to Theo Murray. Theo Murray drives in, hits the layup, and they're going to call a foul, a defensive foul. Number 23, Lewis Fay, was trying to take the charge for Wellesley, but he fell back just a little too much and lost his footing in the face of the driving Theo Murray, who gets the bucket and the and one. And so he goes for the and one, bricks it, no good. Rebound, Anthony Perez. Wellesley leads 23-19. Perez dribbles quickly, fights his way through a defender, goes for a floater layup and hits it. Nice floater layup there by Anthony Perez after forcefully dribbling through Theo Murray's defense to get himself a drive to the lane. Brookline brings it across half court. The pass over to Theo Murray on the left wing. Murray dribbling, looking for a passing outlet. Swings it all the way over to Jack Altman on the right corner. Altman tries to send it down low to Mitchell. He gets it there. Mitchell has to kick it back out to Altman. Altman sends it back over to Mitchell in the corner. Mitchell dribbles, then passes it over to Bryant on the right wing. Bryant dribbling with it, starts to drive, hits traffic, kicks it out to Mitchell. Mitchell fakes, dribbles around his defender, goes for the shot, hits it. Did he get it off in time? They're saying he didn't get it off in time. Shot clock violation on Brookline, and Wellesley will take over, no basket. Wellesley now slowly bringing up the ball with a 25-19 lead. This is Anthony Perez. Tries to pass for Wedner Cadet, but intercepted and stolen away by Andrew Mitchell. He's now driving with it. Pulls up, goes for a jumper. No good. Rebound, Theo Murray. Murray goes for the putback, hits the bucket, and the foul. That's going to be an over-the-back foul on Kyle McCausland. Theo Murray off to a great start here in the second quarter as Brookline gets ready to sub in number 22, Zach Salem, for Andrew Mitchell. Theo Murray already with 4 points in this second quarter, hoping for 5 with the and one. Free throw goes up and bounces off the rim and in. 25-22, the Raiders lead the Warriors, 6:20 left in the second quarter. Anthony Perez brings it across half court over to Wedner Cadet, then passes over to Matt Ouellette on the left wing, then back over to Cadet. Cadet fires from 3 and airballs it, but caught by Louis Fay. Put back, no good. And now after a scrum for the rebound, it's picked up by Adrian Bryant. Bryant now dribbling it across half court for Brookline. Looking around, passes it over to Altman on the left wing. Jack Altman dribbling with it, sends it over to Nate McCarthy. McCarthy decides to pass it over to Murray. Murray tries to dribble in, swatted away by Wedner Cadet. Nice steal, recovered by Ouellette, but Ouellette got a little too eager with the pass on the fast break. Missed Louis Fay, and it goes out of bounds. The ball will go to Brookline. We've got the first timeout of this game called with 5:47 left in the second quarter here. Wellesley leading Brookline 25-22. So Brookline off to a nice start in the second quarter. They trailed 21-17 after the end of the first quarter. So Wellesley holding the early lead as Brookline trying to keep themselves organized. Both teams have had their fair share of sloppy turnovers to start this game. And Wellesley coming out of the timeout, they've got a lineup of Wedner Cadet, Louis Fay, Anthony Perez, Matt Ouellette, and Jackson McChesney. And on the other side, Brookline getting ready to come out of their timeout after hearing from Coach Courtney Valentine. The lineup for Brookline: Adrian Bryant, Zach Salem, Theo Murray, Jack Altman, and Nate McCarthy. Inbound to Bryant. Bryant brings it across half court, swings it over to McCarthy. McCarthy passes it to Murray. Murray's got a nice position, goes for the shot, can't hit it, but gets the foul. Theo Murray with some nice drives to the hoop on several occasions. That was a great cut to the basket. He had some guys on top of him. He decided to pump fake, drew the foul, couldn't quite hit the shot, but he gets 2 free throws, and he hits the first, cutting the Wellesley lead to 25-23 with 5:39 left here in the second quarter. Murray goes for a second free throw, can't hit this one. Murray with 6 points in the second quarter already. He represents all of Brookline's scoring as Wellesley brings it across half court. Passes it around, it goes to Anthony Perez on the right wing. Pass up top to Matt Ouellette. Ouellette starts to drive, hits some traffic, kicks it out to Perez. Perez fires from 3, front rim, no good. Rebound by Cadet. Cadet with the putback, and he hits it. Wedner Cadet with the nice second chance bucket. Wellesley now up 27-23. Adrian Bryant brings it across half court for Brookline. Bryant dribbling. Passes it over to Jack Altman in the corner. Altman swings it all the way over to Murray on the left wing. Murray starts to drive in, but loses control of the ball, and it's recovered by Louis Fay. Fay passes to Cadet in transition. Cadet for the layup. No good, and it's rebounded by Adrian Bryant after a bit of a scrum for it. Bryant dribbles across half court, passes over to Slem. Slem fires from 3, no good. Rebound McChesney. McChesney gets a risky pass off to Perez. Perez gets it across half court. Pass to Fay, a nice cut, but blocked from behind by Salem. Recovered by McCarthy. Passed over to Jack Altman. Altman fires from 3, front rim, no good. Rebound by Matt Ouellette. Ouellette now dribbling, passes it over to Perez. Everybody's playing transition ball now. Perez stops as he hits traffic, kicks it out. Drive by McChesney. McChesney almost loses the ball, but passes it off to Louis Fay. Louis Fay tried for several fakes and goes for the layup. He somehow hits it, and he draws the foul. Nice move by Louis Fay, and he draws the foul on Theo Murray. And we have a bevy of substitutions here for Brookline. Coming in is number 21, Wayne Meadows, number 2, Andrew Mitchell, and number 15, Mackie Hayes, replacing Theo Murray and Jack Altman and Adrian Bryant. So Louis Fay going to the line for his and one. Wellesley leads 29-23. And Fay front rims it. Bit of a loose ball, but it's recovered by Mackie Hayes. And Hayes is bringing the ball across half court for Brookline. Hayes starts to drive, hits traffic, kicks it out for McCarthy. McCarthy fires from 3, no good. Rebound by Mackie Hayes. He dribbles around, goes for the putback, no good. Rebounded by Matt Ouellette. Ouellette now dribbling with it, passes it across half court to Perez. Perez dribbling at the right wing against Mackie Hayes. Passes it out to Cadet. Cadet's got a bit of an opening, drives, hits the floater. Nothing but net on the floater by Wedner Cadet. Wellesley now leads Brookline 31-23. Mackie Hayes bringing the ball up for Brookline, fighting against Perez. Starts to get a lane. Oh, a nice drive, but can't hit the layup. Rebound by Cadet. Cadet passes to Ouellette, then over to Fay, but Fay juggles it and loses it out of bounds. Wellesley starting to pick up the tempo here in transition as they now send a massive substitutions out there. I think 4 total substitutions as they send in Isaac Chu and Michael Grosso, as well as Brady Stevens and Vincent Ferrara. Mackie Hayes bringing the ball across for Brookline, passes it over to Meadows, now over to Andrew Mitchell. Mitchell dribbling with it at the 3-point line, crosses it, pulls up for a jumper, hits it, nothing but net. Nice jumper by Andrew Mitchell, cuts the lead to 31-25. Isaac Chu bringing the ball across for Wellesley. Chu dribbling with it against Hayes, still dribbling around, decides to kick it out to Grosso. Grosso dribbling with it, passes over to Stevens. Stevens fires a long 3, but slightly deflected by Meadows and recovered by Zach Salem. He passes over to McCarthy, then swings it over to Meadows, back to McCarthy, now over to Mitchell. Mitchell swings it over to Meadows, who pumps, passes it over to Mackie Hayes. Hayes dribbling at the right wing, passes it over to Andrew Mitchell. Mitchell starts to drive, but kicks it out to McCarthy. McCarthy fires from 3, off the rim, no good. Recovered by Vincent Ferrara. Ferrara dribbling for Wellesley, passes it over to Isaac Chu, who brings it across half court. Dribbling back and forth, passes it up top to Michael Grosso. Swings it over to Vincent Ferrara. Ferrara starts to drive in, passes it inside to Chu. Nice fake, but can't finish on the layup. Rebounded by Andrew Mitchell. Mitchell dribbling it across half court. Still dribbling with it, holding the ball at the top. Still dribbling with it, passes it over to Nate McCarthy on the right wing. McCarthy holds it, starts to dribble, but passes it up top to Wayne Meadows. Wayne Meadows kicks it over to Zach Slem, then outside to Mackie Hayes, then up to Andrew Mitchell. He drives in, hits the floater. Nice floater by Andrew Mitchell. 31-27, now the score in favor of Wellesley. 2 minutes left in the half. Michael Grosso bringing it across half court for Wellesley. Passes it to Isaac Chu up top, then over to the left wing to Vincent Ferrara. Back up top to Grosso. Grosso holding it. Passes it over to Stevens on the left wing. Then over to the left corner to Ferrara. Down low to McChesney, and McChesney dribbles it off his foot and out of bounds. Another set of substitutions for both teams. Jack Altman, Theo Murray, and number 34, Obi Okamoto, checking in for Brookline. The inbound pass goes to Wayne Meadows. 1:42 left in the second quarter. Wellesley leads Brookline 31-27. Meadows brings it across half court, passes it over to Mitchell. Mitchell swings it all the way over to Murray on the right wing. Back up top to Meadows. Meadows pumps, decides to pull from 3. No good. Bounces off a couple hands, that rebound did, and it's ultimately picked up by Vincent Ferrara. He starts to take it with speed across half court, goes up for a floater off the backboard. No good. Rebound by Meadows, and we got a loose ball foul against Wellesley. I believe that's going to go against number 2, Andrew Harding, who recently checked in for Wellesley. We got another substitution for Wellesley. This is number 20, Charlie Seifert, checking into the game, replacing Brady Stevens. Wayne Meadows going to the line as Brookline has the bonus, so he's going for the 1-and-1. His team trailing 31-27 with 1:19 left in the half. First free throw, bounces in and out, no good. Rebound Isaac Chu. Brings the ball across half court. Nobody's covering him. He starts to dribble in, but decides to kick it out. Grosso fires from 3 and hits it. 34-27 as a bit of a misstep on the defense by Brookline there. Andrew Mitchell brings it across half court, passes it over to Meadows, back up top to Mitchell. Mitchell holding the ball, swings it over to Murray on the right wing. Less than a minute left in the half. Up top to Mitchell. Over to the corner to Altman. Altman pulls up from 3. Off the rim, no good. Battle for the board, but ultimately collected by Andrew Harding. Passes it over to Chu. Chu brings it across half court. Over to the right wing. A wide open Vincent Ferrara fires from 3. No good, but rebound. And the putback is blocked. And the rebound is blocked, but we got a foul. I think they're going to call the foul on Andrew Mitchell. A nice block on the attempted putback shot by Theo Murray. He blocked Charlie Seifert, but it was recovered for a second time by Andrew Harding, and he managed to draw the foul. Andrew Harding going to the line for 2. First free throw up, front rims it no good. 34-27, the score in favor of Wellesley with 39.3 ticks left in the half. Brookline getting down in the blocks with Obi Okamoto and Andrew Mitchell ready to rebound the second free throw from Harding. He puts it up off the front rim again, rebounded by Mitchell. Brookline dribbling with it, passes it over to Theo Murray. Back up top to Andrew Mitchell, over to the left wing to Murray. Murray pulls up from 3, in and out, no good. Rebound, Isaac Chu. Chu holding it, almost lost his balance there, now dribbling, bringing it across half court. About 20 seconds left in the half. Isaac Chu dribbling with it, up top. Dribbling against Meadows, just holding it, passes it over to Ferrara. Give and go back to Chu, and Chu with the nice layup. Great cut by Isaac Chu for the layup. Less than 10 seconds left in the half. A long pass from Wayne Meadows over to Theo Murray, deflected out of bounds by Wellesley. And I believe they're going to say it's Brookline ball with 6.8 seconds left. Wellesley leading Brookline 36-27. Theo Murray getting ready to inbound. Throws it to Wayne Meadows. Wayne Meadows holding it. Passes it back over to Murray. 3, 2. Over to Meadows. Now over to Altman. A long 3 and no good. Brookline rushed that last play there a little bit. But the score at the end of the first half, the Wellesley Raiders 36, the Brookline Warriors 27. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, live at Tappan Street Gym in Brookline, Massachusetts. And I'll be back to bring you the second half of this game after a mute break. But before I go, I love doing these broadcasts. I'm going to keep doing them no matter what. But if you, and of course, at no cost to anybody, but if you like listening to my broadcasts, you want to support what I do financially, you can head over to my PayPal at paypal.me/JGMS88 and make a donation there. Like I said, I'll keep broadcasting no matter what, no obligation whatsoever, but if you're interested, paypal.me/JGMS88. Once again, 36-27, Wellesley leads Brookline here in Brookline's belated season opener. And we are at halftime now, and I'll be back after a mute break. Stay tuned. Hello, and welcome back to Tappan Street Gym in Brookline, Massachusetts. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am here bringing you this boys basketball high school game between the hosting Brookline High Warriors and the visiting Wellesley High Raiders. Wellesley holding a 36-27 lead after one half of play, and after a shorter halftime break than most people might be used to, we are now ready to get back in the action. And so Brookline will be inbounding it. Andrew Mitchell inbounds it to Adrian Bryant, and we are underway. Bryant dribbling against Wellesley's Matt Ouellette, brings it swiftly across half court, pulls up and decides to pass it out to Mitchell. Mitchell passes it over to Theo Murray. Murray starts dribble, almost lost it, recovered, passed over to Mitchell, and we've got a foul call. I think this is going to be an illegal pick foul call against Brookline's Adrian Bryant. So first foul gives the ball back to Wellesley. It's inbounded to Matt Ouellette. Ouellette brings it across half court, passes it up top to Wedner Cadet, then over to the left wing. Oh, a throw for a alley-oop from Anthony Perez to Wedner Cadet, but it missed. Recovered by Brookline, and now passed across half court over to Adrian Bryant. Score still 36-27 Wellesley. Bryant dribbling with it up top, goes around a pick from Nate McCarthy, but runs into traffic, swings it over to Theo Murray. Murray passes it over to Andrew Mitchell on the left wing. Mitchell fakes, drives, misses the shot, tipped a couple times, and then recovered by Perez. He's got a clear path on the fast break. Misses the layup, though, but then tipped in by Wedner Cadet. Nice secondary effort by Wedner Cadet. Makes it 38-27 Wellesley. Brookline bringing it up with Adrian Bryant across half court. Passes it over to Andrew Mitchell on the right wing. Back up top to Theo Murray. Over to the right wing to Altman. Jack Altman fires from 3. Front rim, no good. A battle for the rebound. Recovered by Andrew Mitchell. Andrew Mitchell tries to put up the shot. Air balls it, no good. He was off balance. Recovered by Lewis Fay of Wellesley. Passes it over to Wedner Cadet. Then over to Anthony Perez, who brings it across half court. Perez finds a cutting Vincent Ferrara, who pump fakes, turns around, fires the fadeaway, no good. Rebound, Jack Altman. Passes over to Adrian Bryant, then over to Andrew Mitchell. Brookline with the ball across half court. Andrew Mitchell at the right wing. Passes it up top to Theo Murray. Murray starts to drive, runs into some traffic, manages to get the shot off and draw the foul. Doesn't hit the shot, but he will get 2 free throws. Theo Murray provided a great early spark for Brookline, scoring all 6 of their points within the first couple minutes. But Brookline only scored 4 points the rest of the way after that as Theo Murray hits his first free throw to cut the lead to 10. Number 22, Zach Salem, checking back into the game for Brookline, replacing Adrian Bryant as Murray gets ready for his second free throw. Puts it up, and it's in. 2 good free throws for Theo Murray, cuts the lead to 9, 38-29. Wellesley dribbling with it. This is Matt Ouellette bringing it across half court. Passes it over to Cadet. Cadet juggles it but manages to recover. Passes it over to Perez. Perez sends it over to Ouellette up top. Ouellette looking around. Passes over to Ferrara on the left wing. Ferrara starts to dribble. Kicks it back out to Cadet on the right wing. Cadet dribbles in, pulls back out, then dribbles back in again. Gets an opening and hits the layup. A nice in and out drive by Wedner Cadet for the layup. 40-29 the score in favor of Wellesley. Andrew Mitchell dribbling the ball across half court for Brookline. He drives in aggressively, front rims it, no good. Recovers his own rebound, shot no good. Recovered by Salem. Pass out to Theo Murray. Murray fires from 3, rejected by Wedner Cadet. He's now dribbling on the fast break and hits the easy layup. Wedner Cadet on fire for Wellesley as they now lead Brookline 42-29. Theo Murray bringing up the ball for Brookline. Passes it over to Andrew Mitchell. Mitchell looking around. Passes it over to Nate McCarthy. Then over to Theo Murray on the right wing. Up top to Andrew Mitchell. Mitchell swings it over to Jack Altman on the left wing. Altman swings it all the way over to McCarthy on the right wing. Then down in the right corner to Mitchell. Mitchell holding it. Dribbling against Matt Ouellette. Starts to drive in. Lost track of the ball. Recovered it. A pass intercepted by Wedner Cadet. And he passes it ahead to Perez. Perez on the fast break layup, and it's good. Brookline with one turnover after another, and we've got a timeout called by Brookline. And I don't blame Coach Courtney Valentine one bit for calling the timeout right now. Brookline with a few sloppy turnovers to start this third quarter, as they have allowed Wellesley to start pulling away here. 44-29 now the score. After some great defensive plays by Wellesley, Wedner Cadet especially has been producing for the Raiders. He's got a block, a steal, a couple of fast break layups, and assist. He's been hitting everything to start this third quarter. And so Wellesley now with a comfortable 15-point lead. They came into this quarter leading by 9. And they have now outscored Brookline 8-2 in the first 3 minutes of this third quarter. 5:05 on the clock for the quarter. As Coach Courtney Valentine talking to his players, trying to get them back into it. Of course, Brookline trying to overcome so many obstacles to start this season. The long delays, the massive graduation of last year's roster. Just trying to get their feet under them here. And now we come back out of the timeout. Zach Salem will be inbounding it to Mackie Hayes. Mackie Hayes dribbling against Matt Ouellette. Trying to get across half court. He does. Pass it over to Nate McCarthy on the right wing. Up top to Theo Murray. Over to Salem on the right wing. Salem fires from 3. Front rim, no good. Rebounded by Brady Stevens. Pass over to Vincent Ferrara, then over to Cadet. Cadet dribbling with it, lost track of it, recovered, passes it out to Ferrara. Ferrara starts to dribble in, but kicks it out to Michael Grosso, then passed up top to Ouellette. Ouellette fires from 3, no good. Battle for the board, loose ball, lost out of bounds, and they're either calling it out of bounds or a foul. I thought they might have called a loose ball foul on Wellesley, but either way, they call it out on Wellesley. Inbound to Mackie Hayes for Brookline as Brookline takes over with the ball. Hayes dribbling it across half court, still driving, decides to kick it out to Nate McCarthy on the right corner. McCarthy starts to drive in, can't hit the layup, no good, well defended by Wellesley, and rebounded, but the pass by Brady Stevens is deflected and intercepted by Murray. A couple of quick passes, and Zach Salem hits the layup. Murray to McCarthy to Salem, and Salem finishes at the rim to cut the lead to 44-31. Wellesley now dribbling with it. It's given back to Matt Ouellette. He brings it across half court, passes it over to Vincent Ferrara. Ferrara dribbling with it around the left wing. Stops. Passes over to Cadet on the left wing. Cadet dribbling with it. He gets around Mackie Hayes. Starts to drive in and rim rolls out of the layup. Seemed like he had it, but it was in and out. Rebounded by Theo Murray. Pass to Hayes. Hayes driving with haste. And he doesn't hit the layup, but he manages to draw the foul. I believe that's going to be a foul on Brady Stevens. And Mackie Hayes will be going to the line for 2. 44-31, the score in favor of Wellesley. 3:43 is what it reads on the clock for the third quarter. Hayes with his first shot. It's in, and he cuts the lead to 12 as we've got a substitution for Wellesley. A couple. This is Kyle McCausland and Isaac Chu checking in. While for Brookline, Andrew Mitchell checks in, replacing Nate McCarthy. Hayes getting ready to do his second free throw. It's up. Front rims, no good. Rebound to Michael Grosso. Grosso dribbles with it, then gives it over to Chu. Chu dribbling across half court against Salem. Passes it over to Brady Stevens on the left corner. Brady Stevens starts to drive, hits traffic, kicks it out to Grosso. Grosso on the left wing, dribbles towards the top. Passes it over to McCausland on the right wing. He dribbles around a pick, still has traffic, kicks it out to Chu. Chu dribbling with it. He hits traffic, kicks it out to Brady Stevens on the right wing. Back up top to Isaac Chu. Chu dribbling with it. He starts to drive, runs into defense, hits the layup, and draws the foul from Mackie Hayes. A nice screen by Wedner Cadet at the top, and then Isaac Chu took advantage of the lack of visibility that Mackie Hayes had on the defense and drove in and drew the foul and hit the layup. Substitution for Brookline, Wayne Meadows checking in for Mackie Hayes as Isaac Chu gets ready for the and one free throw. 46-32, the score in favor of Wellesley. Chu puts it up, front rims it, no good. Loose ball recovered by Theo Murray. He passes it over to Mitchell. Mitchell swings it across half court over to the left wing to Jack Altman. Back up top to Murray and over to Mitchell. Then over to Meadows on the right wing. Over to Mitchell. Back to Meadows. Meadows dribbling around the right wing still. Sends it up top to Murray. Over to the left wing to Zach Salem. Salem starts to dribble in. Gets it poked at from behind by Wedner Cadet, and they're going to call the foul on Cadet. So Brookline will get the inbound after the foul called on Wedner Cadet. Altman getting ready to inbound it for Brookline. Sends it into Meadows. Meadows dribbling with it. Over to Altman. Back up top to Meadows. Meadows swings it over to the right wing to Murray. Up to the top of the key to Altman. Down low to Salem. Salem goes up for the layup and is fouled either by Cadet or McCausland. They're going to call it on Kyle McCausland. Both he and Wedner Cadet were trying to stop Salem from going up for the shot after a nice sequence of passing by Brookline. Salem goes for his first free throw, front rims it, no good. Another massive substitutions for Wellesley. Number 10, Jackson McChesney. Number 20, Charlie Seifert. Number 24, Matt Ouellette checking into the game, replacing Cadet, McCausland, and Grosso. Salem getting ready for his second free throw. 2:40 on the clock in the third quarter. Wellesley leads Brookline 46-32. And Salem's second free throw is good, 46-33, now the score. Ouellette looking for the inbound, just manages to get it to Brady Stevens, and now they're working against the press. The pass over to Seifert, he brings it across half court. He gets trapped for a second, tries to pass to Brady Stevens. It's deflected out of bounds by Andrew Mitchell. Brookline getting aggressive on the defense, bringing the full court press, trying to trap just past half court, and ultimately knocking away the pass that almost had an open lane to the hoop. Isaac Chu inbounds to Matt Ouellette, tries to dribble around his defender, and they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. Matt Ouellette pressed up against the baseline by his defender, I believe it was Jack Altman, and Ouellette steps out of bounds. Now Altman looking for the inbound, sends a long pass over to Theo Murray. Theo Murray dribbling against McChesney, tries to drive the lane, go for the layup, no good, battle for the board, and it's almost lost for a second, but picked up by Chu. Chu dribbling in transition, sends a slow bouncing pass out to McChesney. McChesney drives in and draws the foul. No shot on that one, but they're going to call the foul on Wayne Meadows. So it'll be an inbound for Wellesley. Jackson McChesney getting ready to inbound the ball. Looks around, ultimately sends it up top to Isaac Chu. Chu dribbling, starts to drive in, but pulls back, kicks it out to Ouellette. Ouellette starts to drive in, hits traffic, can't hit the layup. A couple of offensive rebounds by Brady Stevens, and the ball is ultimately lost out of bounds, and they're going to say Wellesley ball. Obi Okamoto checking into the game for Brookline, replacing Andrew Mitchell. Brady Stevens rebounded the missed shot by Ouellette, tried the putback, but missed that one too, grabbed his own rebound. And the inbound from McChesney now goes to Stevens. Starts to dribble and manages to draw either an offensive foul or a travel. I was really confused on that one. But either way, Brady Stevens with the turnover for Wellesley, and now Brookline with the ball, less than 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Zach Salem dribbling it across half court, passes it to Okamoto. Okamoto lost the ball, taken away, recovered by Brady Stevens, gives it to Chu. Chu dribbling in transition, but he can't collect it enough, passes it out to Seifert, and he hits the layup. Isaac Chu couldn't finish on the fast break, but he recovers and makes a nice pass to Charlie Seifert. 48-33, now the score. Theo Murray brings it across half court for Brookline. Quick drive, goes to the hoop, hits it, and draws the foul. I believe they're going to call the foul on Charlie Seifert, as Theo Murray with another intense drive to the hoop. He's had quite a few of those. And he's got a nice scoring line for today. But Brookline still trailing significantly, 48-35 the score, as Murray goes for the and one and hits it. 48-36, 1:29 left in the quarter. The inbound to Matt Ouellette. Brookline backing off from the full court press, as Ouellette slowly brings it across half court, passes it over to McChesney, sends it up top to Chu, over to the wing to Louis Fay. Louis Fay tries for the two-step, and it's going to be a defensive foul, I believe, against Zach Salem. So a nice attempted hop step by Louis Fay, as he draws the foul and will now get to go for two. Fay with his first free throw, nothing but net, 49-36. Some more substitutions for Brookline. Nate McCarthy checks back in, replacing Wayne Meadows. And for Wellesley, Wedner Cadet comes back into the game. So another free throw for Fay. He hits it, and we got another substitution for Brookline. This is number 3, Adam Denker, seeing his first action on the floor, replacing Jack Altman. Inbound goes to Zach Salem. He brings it across half court, 50-36 the score. He passes it over to Nate McCarthy in the left corner. McCarthy holds it, dribbles a little bit, passes up top to Zach Salem. Salem starts to dribble in, and they're going to call a travel on Salem. 1:02 remaining in the third quarter. Wellesley leads Brookline 50-36, and Wellesley now has the ball. Inbound to Matt Ouellette. Ouellette brings it across half court. Passes it over to McChesney, then back to Ouellette. Ouellette driving around the baseline, swings it over to Chu. Chu drives in, goes for a shot, somehow hits that fadeaway with a hand right in his face. He banks it in, 52-36, Wellesley leads. Zach Salem brings it across half court, starts to drive really fast, goes for the shot, no good, makes his own rebound, kicks it out to McCarthy. McCarthy from three, swish! 52-39 after the three-pointer from Nate McCarthy. Less than 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Matt Ouellette bringing the ball across half court for Wellesley. 20 seconds left. Brookline's just letting him dribble it out a little bit. He passes it over to Isaac Chu. Chu just holding it. Passes it over to Louis Fay. Chu drives to the hoop and, draws a hard foul from Zach Salem. Isaac Chu made a nice quick pass over to Louis Fay, and they made a quick cut to the hoop. He had completely faked out his man, Zach Salem. Got the ball right underneath the hoop and pump faked, and Salem went flying for the desperation block and ended up coming down right on top of Chu. Chu seems to be okay. He did a push-up or two before coming back up onto the floor, and now he'll go for 2 free throws. First free throw up, front rims it, no good. 10.8 seconds left in the third quarter. Wellesley leads Brookline 52-39. Chu at the line for his second free throw. It's up and in. So 53-39. Now the score in favor of the Raiders. Salem bringing it up, swings it over to McCarthy. McCarthy dribbling around the left wing. Up top to Theo Murray. Back over to the left wing to McCarthy. McCarthy fires from three, no good. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. The visiting Wellesley High Raiders starting to pull away from the hosting Brookline High Warriors. 53-39 the score as we get ready for the final quarter of play. Live from Tappan Street Gym, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and I'll be back with the fourth and final quarter after a short mute break. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Tappan Street Gym in Brookline, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here to bring you the fourth and final quarter of play of this high school boys basketball game between the hosting Brookline High Warriors and the visiting Wellesley High Raiders. Wellesley has been able to pull away in this second half. They lead Brookline 53-39 as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Vincent Ferrara will be inbounding the ball for Wellesley at half court. He inbounds it to Matt Ouellette, and we are underway. Ouellette dribbling it across half court, passes it over to Wedner Cadet on the right wing, up top to Ouellette, back over to Cadet. Cadet fires from three, air ball, no good. Rebound juggled for a bit, but recovered by Nate McCarthy. Passed over to Theo Murray, back to McCarthy. Pass it across to Andrew Mitchell, up top to McCarthy. Over to Jack Altman on the right wing, down low to Mitchell. Mitchell dribbles back outside. He's at the right wing, starts to drive in, goes for a shot, slightly blocked by Cadet, and off the backboard, recovered by Cadet. Cadet now dribbling in transition, passes it over to Jackson McChesney, then over to the corner to Lewis Fay, then back outside to Cadet, over to Ferrara, then over to Ouellette, pass down low to Lewis Fay, and taken away on the steal by Jack Altman, passed over to McCarthy, and then over to Mackie Hayes. Hayes dribbling across half court, no score yet in the fourth quarter. Hayes starting to drive in, goes for the layup, front rims it, no good, but draws the foul. That foul is going to be against Wellesley's Matt Ouellette. The score still Wellesley 53, Brookline 39. Hayes going to the line for two. First free throw up, in and out, no good. Substitution for Wellesley, Anthony Perez checking in, replacing Lewis Fay. Courtney Valentine calls over all his players not at the free throw line to give them some messages. Hayes puts up his second free throw, hits this one, 53-40 now the score. Inbound to Perez, given back to Ouellette. Ouellette bringing up the ball for Wellesley. Passes it over to Cadet across half court. Cadet dribbling with it, pass, take it away and intercepted by Jack Altman. Fast break layup, he hits it. Nice play by Jack Altman. Cuts the lead to 11, 53-42. Nice deflection and interception on the attempted pass. As now the pass back and forth by Wellesley. It goes back to Cadet, then back to McChesney. Over to Ouellette up top, swings it over to Cadet, then down to the corner to McChesney. McChesney dribbles across the baseline, passes it over to Perez, who dribbles a bit, kicks it out to Ouellette, fires from three, no good. Battle for the board, and it goes out of bounds. And who are they going to call it on? They're going to say it's out on Brookline. Inbound for Wellesley. Scrum for the rebound there after the missed three-pointer by Matt Ouellette. Substitution for Wellesley. Number 12, Brady Stevens checks into the game. Cadet getting ready for the inbound, looking around, passes it to Ouellette, given back to Cadet. Cadet dribbling around, passes it over to Ouellette. Altman was looking for the steal again. Ouellette passes it over to Stevens. Brady Stevens now over to Ouellette, back outside to Ferrara. Ferrara passes it over to Perez on the left wing. Perez tries to pass, couple deflections. It's about to be taken away. It's taken away again by Altman. Altman opts out of the layup, passes to Hayes. Hayes goes for the layup, no good. Rebound by Perez. A nice attempted steal and fast break by Brookline, but they just couldn't keep control of the ball as Wellesley takes it over. Matt Ouellette dribbling with it. He tries to pass, and it bounces off of Altman's foot, and so it'll stay Wellesley ball. Jack Altman getting really aggressive with the interceptions up top. The inbound goes to Ouellette, then passed over to Perez on the left wing. Perez dribbling with it, passes it back out to Ouellette. Ouellette passes it down to Cadet, kicks it out to Stevens. Stevens fires from three, hits it! Nice three-pointer from Brady Stevens. Wellesley now leads 56-42. Theo Murray brings it across half court, pass over to Andrew Mitchell, then over to Jack Altman in the corner. Back up top to Murray. Murray dribbles inside, fires from the top of the key, in and out, no good. Rebound, Mitchell kicks back out to McCarthy, fires from three, no good once again, this time rebounded by Ouellette and given over to Cadet. Cadet dribbles off his own foot, and it's taken away by Theo Murray. Murray goes for the fast break layup, and he hits the gimme shot. 56-44 the score after a sloppy turnover by Wellesley. Less than 5 minutes left in this game. Wellesley still leads by double figures. Cadet brings it across half court, passes over to Perez, back to Cadet, then back to Perez. Perez swings it all the way over to Stevens. He fires from the left corner. No good. Rebound collected and then almost lost by Perez, but he recovers, kicks it back out to Cadet, then back over to Perez. Perez fires from three, and he hits this one. 59-44, and we've got a timeout called. I think it's called by Wellesley after they hit a couple of nice three-point shots, one by Brady Stevens and one by Anthony Perez. And the one thing I'm seeing is a lot of second chances being given to Wellesley as Brookline's struggling to collect the ball. They're struggling on the loose ball battles, they're struggling on the rebounds, and that is the one area you can't lose in a basketball game. You can't be losing on those scrums for the ball. Once again, Brookline playing in their first game of this season, while Wellesley has had a chance to play a few games as they came out of COVID restrictions a little earlier than Brookline. Brookline coming in later than a number of teams in Massachusetts as the town put in its own ban on athletics for a little bit longer than the rest of the state. There was some question as to whether or not the game would even happen today due to the recent snowstorm that's blown through the area. And after the timeout, we come back. Wellesley leads Brookline 59-44, 4:35 left in the game. Brookline getting ready to inbound. This is Zach Salem, who has checked into the game and now makes the inbound to Andrew Mitchell. Mitchell bringing it slowly across half court. Dribbling against Anthony Perez. Swings it over to Jack Altman on the right wing. Up top to Murray. Over to the left wing to Mitchell. Then passed into the key to Altman. His shot blocked by Cadet, but recovered by Murray. He drives in, goes for the layup. No good. Tries to recover his own rebound, but has it deflected away and recovered by Brady Stevens. Pass over to Ouellette, then over to Ferrara. They're dribbling in transition. Give outside to Perez. Perez pump fakes, fires from three. No good, but the offensive rebound is won by Wedner Cadet. He dribbles back outside to the left wing. Wellesley holding it with the substantial lead they have. The swing pass is intercepted by Andrew Mitchell. Mitchell now dribbling in the fast break and hits the easy layup. Brookline's had a few nice steals this quarter as they are fighting and clawing their way, trying to stay in this game. Matt Ouellette bringing it up for Wellesley. Brings it across half court, passes it over to Ferrara. Attempted pass to Cadet, almost stolen away by Brookline again, but he manages to get it away to Ferrara, who then swings it over to Perez, almost taken away again. He manages to get the shot off, no good, rebounded by Theo Murray. 59-46 to score. Murray dribbling with it, gives it over to McCarthy in the corner. McCarthy has it poked away by Cadet, but it goes out of bounds. It'll stay Brookline ball. Now checking in for Brookline, Adrian Bryant and Wayne Meadows, while coming into the game for Wellesley is Michael Grosso. 3:23 left in the game. Wellesley leads by 13. Murray inbounds to Bryant. Bryant dribbling with it up top. Swings it over to Mitchell on the right wing. He dribbles towards the top, almost lost control of it, but maintained it, passed it to Bryant. Bryant dribbles back towards the top, starts to drive, hits traffic, pulls up, passes it over to Mitchell. Mitchell passes it back out to Bryant. Bryant shoots from three, no good, airballed, attempted save by Meadows, but can't save it, and it's out of bounds, Wellesley ball. 3:01 left in this game. Perez inbounding it for Wellesley. Inbounds over to Grosso. Brookline bringing the press. Grosso dribbling against Mitchell. He manages to dribble past him, get across half court. He's now been trapped. And Wellesley is forced to call a timeout. A nice trap executed by Andrew Mitchell and Zach Salem. It seemed like Mitchell had pulled back on the press, and Grosso took advantage to dribble across half court. But I think they baited him into that as Zach Salem came very quickly from behind as if the whole thing was planned, and they trapped him right in the corner just as you want to do, and they forced Wellesley to use a timeout. Brookline has had some nicely executed defensive plays this quarter, but the offense has got to execute. And also they've got to get the loose balls and the rebounds because Wellesley's been given too many second chances here in this quarter as they continue to maintain their lead, and they've even outscored Brookline in this quarter as Brookline has struggled to get points off of their turnovers and the chances that they've been getting off their nice defensive plays. 59-46 the score as the two teams were actually even for the quarter. It was 52-39 coming into the quarter. Both teams have scored 7 points. 2:52 now on the clock remaining in this game. They come back out of the timeout. Brookline, no, not Brookline, Wellesley. Wellesley was the one that called the timeout. For some reason, Zach Salem was standing along the sidelines as if he was going to be inbounding it. But it'll be Matt Ouellette inbounding it for Wellesley. He sends it to the back court to Grosso. Grosso waits and hands it off to Ouellette. Ouellette now dribbling it across half court. Passes it over to Perez. Perez holding it left wing, fakes, drives in, goes for layup, no good. He was surrounded by Brookline players. Rebound, Theo Murray. Passed over to Mitchell. Mitchell brings it across half court, dribbling around the left wing, swings it over to the right wing to Meadows. Meadows starts to drive, hits traffic, gets it out to Bryant. Bryant decides to drive in, goes for the floater, no good. Rebound by Ferrara. Ferrara almost getting trapped. He manages to get it past to a wide open Brady Stevens. Stevens now just holding it, and he gets trapped in the corner by Mitchell and Murray, but he manages to get a pass away to Grosso. Grosso dribbles in, kicks it out to Perez. Perez fakes and dribbles back outside. They're just holding it at this point as Brookline aggressively comes for the ball. Pass over to Ouellette. Ouellette dribbling up top, and the reach-in foul is going to be called on Theo Murray. So before the inbound, we'll have a substitution. Wedner Cadet checking back in for Wellesley as Obi Okamoto checks in for Brookline. Wellesley getting ready to inbound. This is Perez. He inbounds it to Cadet. Cadet gives it over to Ouellette, still in the back court. Ouellette slowly dribbling, gets a pick from Cadet, tries to dribble across half court, and collides with Theo Murray, who is going to get another foul called against him. Theo Murray aggressively going for the ball, and you kind of have to when you're down double figures with less than 2 minutes left in the game. But it's causing him to get some fouls called against him as Isaac Chu checks into the game for Wellesley. And Wellesley now with the bonus, so Matt Ouellette will be at the line for the 1-and-1. Ouellette puts up his first free throw, nothing but net, and it's good. First point since the last timeout. 60-46, now the score in favor of Wellesley, 1:54 left on the clock here in this game. Ouellette with another free throw, in and out, no good. Rebound Okamoto, he gives it over to Murray. Murray brings it across half court, swings it over to Salem, back over to Murray, over to Meadows, fires from the left wing for three, no good. Rebound Cadet. Cadet dribbling it across half court. Fights past Salem, starts to drive in, kicks it out to a wide open Ferrara, fires for three, no good. Rebound Murray. Theo Murray bringing it across half court. Swings it over to Meadows, then over to Salem. Salem dribbles just past the 3-line, fires, airballs it, and rebounded by Cadet. Cadet passed too quick over to Chu, and Wellesley loses it out of bounds. 1:16 left in the game, and Brookline takes over with a 14-point deficit. Salem inbounds to Mitchell, and oh, he didn't execute it right. He still had a foot in the front court as he was trying to receive the ball in the back court, and so that's going to be a backcourt violation against Brookline. So after Wellesley's turnover, Brookline immediately turns it over. Perez inbounds to Ouellette in the back court. Ouellette dribbling against Mitchell, gets a pick from Cadet, and dribbles, give and go with Perez back to Ouellette. He starts to drive, kicks it back out to Ferrara, sent back up top to Cadet, and Cadet hits the three. 63-46 with less than 1 minute left after the three-pointer by Wedner Cadet. Brookline brings it across half court, the pass over to Andrew Mitchell, then all the way out to Wayne Meadows, and Meadows miscommunicated with Mitchell there as he just throws it out of bounds. The ball almost hit Coach Courtney Valentine, and he was a statue as the ball bounced harmlessly past him. Isaac Chu inbounds to Ouellette. Ouellette dribbles across half court, starts to drive, hits some traffic, and dribbles back outside. 40 seconds left. Wellesley's just passing this ball around at this point. Ouellette now with the ball. Passes it over to Chu. Chu just holding it, now dribbling. Passes it over to Ferrara. Ferrara just holding, dribble, passes to Ouellette, who cuts to the basket and hits the layup. 65-46 the score. The pass goes to Theo Murray. He's got a bit of a lane here, starts to drive and hits the layup. 65-48, 13 seconds left in this game. Brookline tries to trap, but they manage to get the pass away to Isaac Chu. Chu dribbles it across half court. Pass over to Ferrara. This game's just about to end. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Chu just holds it as the final buzzer sounds. So the final score at the end of this game, the Wellesley High Raiders 65, the Brookline High Warriors 48. An impressive outing from Wellesley as they get some payback after last year's regular season sweep by the Warriors with a dominant 17-point win as they pulled away more and more with each quarter. Their lead grew as they outscored Brookline in every single quarter. So a rough first outing for Brookline as they try and figure things out with this weird new season and a significantly new lineup after graduating their entire starting lineup from last season. The final score from Tappan Street Gym, Wellesley 65, Brookline 48. Before I say goodnight, I want to say thank you to you all for tuning in. I am so happy to be back and broadcasting again with this winter season. It's been a long and tough wait for everybody, the players, the coaches, and I'm sure you, the fans, as well. And just as anybody, I am just so happy to be back. Even if Brookline is lost today, I'm just happy to see them back out on the court, to be honest. So here at Tappan Street Gym, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Once again, happy to bring you free broadcasts, but if you do like my broadcast, you want to support what I do financially, the link is paypal.me/JGMS88. Again, just if you're feeling generous, I'm going to keep doing this no matter what because I love doing this. I love coming out to the games. Whether the home team wins or loses, I'm just happy to see some basketball. One last time, the final score, Wellesley 65, Brookline 48. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and from Tappan Street Gym in Brookline, Massachusetts, I'm signing off. Thank you all for tuning in tonight.